All right, guys. So last but not least, let's talk about behaviors. Behaviors are super important. Obviously the big three: demographics, interests, and behaviors are very important to kind of understand the ins and outs of. Understanding really what's available for you as far as targeting and finding your perfect customers is going to make or break. When you create those initial campaigns and when you kind of out all of those, quote unquote shots in the dark. And I always say quote unquote shots in the dark because really they're not shots in the dark. That's just kind of the saying. They're shots in the dark with a lot of premeditated thought and intelligent decisions as far as how you're going to target your audience. The only reason I call them shots in the dark is because it's before any type of like iteration, optimization, split testing, which is where you really kind of establish yourself as a successful Facebook marketer. So the first behavior that we see is anniversary. Anniversary within 61 to 90 days. Obviously, one that we have talked about before is super, super important. Automotive, motorcycles, right? Somebody who's purchased a new or used motorcycle is great. I have friends who've started motorcycle parts stores for Shopify, and they make a killing. And this would be a great one for targeting people who have purchased a new or used motorcycle as somebody who would be interested in motorcycle gear, or maybe you sell helmets or motorcycle jackets or things like that. New vehicle buyers near market, right? You can target people by style if you sell things related to cars, or maybe you're running ads for a local dealership, and you're trying to target people who are new vehicle buyers, and you can literally target them based on the style of car. New vehicle shoppers, right? So if you're targeting new vehicle buyers, maybe you were a third-party warranty service, or you're running ads for people who are for like an insurance company or something like that. And so you were literally advertising to people who had just bought a car, who now need to, maybe get car insurance, or they need to, want to buy an extended warranty, or maybe, they want to buy like some new rims or a new paint job, or maybe like some custom auto work, right? That would be the people who had just bought. Or if you're actually targeting people who are new vehicle shoppers, maybe you're running ads for, again, a local dealership, and maybe there's an Audi dealership nearby where you live, or a BMW dealership. You can literally target people who are new vehicle shoppers who've showed that those kind of markers. They've actually behaved like that. Literally, they're in the behavior category, but they've behaved like that on the internet. Maybe they're shopping on the BMW website, for example, and BMW has their own Facebook pixel installed, and so then Facebook says, okay, that person browsed the BMW website, so they're obviously a new vehicle shopper who's interested in BMW. So Facebook has this data, and they're also purchasing this data from people who sign up and give their emails to BMW or like a car dealership or something like that. And there's these huge data aggregators that have this unbelievable amount of data that Facebook buys, and then allows you to actually target in the behavior category. So all different types of cars here. It's fantastic data. New vehicle shoppers, max in market. So if you wanted to do max in market, it actually says partner category based on information provided by Oracle Cloud, Oracle Data Cloud, multi-sourced data, people in households that are likely to buy a vehicle in the next 90 days. And again, there's the styles that you can actually target right there. And then we can do owners. All right, you can literally target people who are actually automotive owners. You can target them by make. You can target them when they purchased. Right, maybe you own a mechanical store or a mechanical shop, and you want to target people who've owned a car for over 4 years. Because it's more likely that they'd be breaking down or experiencing some type of mechanical failure or something like that. Or 0 to 6 months ago, maybe you have a car freshener business, and you sell just like an unbelievable amount of car fresheners, and so you target people who have 0 to 6 months years old because they have that new car smell and maybe they don't like it. Again, all different types. You can target people by vehicle age, which is, again, incredible. Vehicle price. This is another good one. People who own vehicles that are over 75 grand are obviously going to be much more interested in kind of luxury homes, for example, most likely. And so like some of my real estate clients, when they're actually targeting people for luxury homes or more expensive homes, will actually use the vehicle price targeter in behaviors, because people who own a vehicle that's over 75,000 are much, much more likely to purchase an expensive home, because generally it means that they're more in the affluent category. Purchase type, you can target people by new or used. B2B. So you can target actual businesses here that have 1,000 to almost 5,000 employees, 10 to 49. I love how these are ordered like out of order. But again, these are good ones if you're targeting small businesses, for example. Maybe you're like a startup that deals with like HR or like Zenefits when they first started, or you're targeting, larger companies, kind of mid-tier, or large companies above 5,000. These are great kind of quantifiers and targeters to use for B2B software platforms, SaaS software as a service. Industry, again, these are related to actual businesses though now. So if you wanted to target like legal businesses versus, targeting just people who are interested in construction, you're actually targeting construction businesses here. So that's kind of an important distinction to make when you are using the B2B category versus just the interest. Because we say here the description is people who are owners or employees of a business in the construction industry. So like if we wanted to, advertise ourselves as running ads for a construction business, this would be a way to get new clients in any industry actually. So this is actually kind of a cool one that I personally use when I am when I want to create new clients or find new clients kind of in an automated way. And you do have to pay for these obviously because it's a paid advertising instead of doing it kind of organically by calling places or emailing people in your kind of local areas. But for example, if I wanted to get lawyers in my area who wanted me to run ads to find them more clients, I could make an ad that says looking for more clients for your law firm, like schedule a free consultation with a Facebook ads expert or something like that. And you can actually target people who are owners or employees of a business in the legal industry. So B2B is a super important category to be aware of and kind of to make use of. Again, real estate, this is a great one. If you were selling like a course, for example, of how to be like a top real estate agent in your own your own geography, you'd target people who are owners or employees of a business in the real estate industry, right? Because you're actually targeting real estate agents here. You're targeting owners of restaurants here. You're targeting owners of retail stores here. This is a super, super important category. For the module where we're going to talk about actually how to create your own Facebook ads agency. Seniority, you can target people who are executives or C-suites, right? There's 76 million people here. Mid-management, these are two actually really kind of little known and definitely underutilized targeters that I use often when I am targeting people who are interested in creating their own passive sources of income. A lot of times people who are kind of mid-management who kind of feel stuck or they've been in the same situation for a while and they don't see like a lot of advancement or they're kind of like wanting something new, they can be very interested in kind of entrepreneurial opportunities. And so these are two that are definitely super interesting to kind of take a look at. Charitable donations is a really good behavior to kind of be aware of. Right, because people who are making charitable donations generally have enough money to do so. Because people who are struggling to get by or don't have any passive income or kind of discretionary income generally aren't making charitable donations because they're needing that money to survive or whatever. And so people who are making charitable donations generally have a little bit more them for products that are related to more of a luxury feel. Consumer classification. So we can see people in Argentina who prefer high value goods. We can target people based on a certain number of countries here. I've never actually used that one personally, but maybe it has some cool meaning. And guys, if you have cool results from like some of these random ones, if you're just like going through and browsing and you're like seeing some of these and you split test it and all of a sudden it's like performing like crazy, tell the private group, because the power comes from experience. And like I'm only one person, and even though I've advertised millions and millions of dollars in all types of different industries for all types of different companies, right? I still am learning every day, and like I'm not at all trying to say that I know everything, but I do know a lot. But learning from each other and telling each other, sharing results of what's working is the best way that we can all succeed together, right? So console gamers, again, you can target people based on their digital activities, people who used Facebook payments in the last 30 days. Facebook page admins is actually kind of one of my secret weapons for targeting, people who are entrepreneurs, because generally if someone's a Facebook page admin, they're doing so because they like started their own like small business. A lot of businesses, a lot of most people who like own a restaurant or own a bar or started an app or created a marketing company or whatever it is, they start a Facebook page because it's just kind of synonymous with starting your own business. And so Facebook page admins is a really good way to target people who are entrepreneurs. And to find new business owners. So like I might split test, Facebook page admins against, I would do must also match Facebook page admins and, B2B legal, because I know that somebody who like created their own, Facebook page is a little bit more technologically savvy, has probably heard of Facebook and, hopefully Facebook advertising, and would just be an easier client to sell than potentially like a law firm that is like a full of like 90-year-olds who've never used Facebook in their life, for example. Because again, it's much easier to sign on new clients, for example, to a Facebook ad agency if they've already spent money on advertising before. If they've never spent money on Facebook ads, it's much harder to sign them. It's a lot easier to move money than it is to get new money, right? And what I mean by move money is advertising the wrong way in like the newspaper or radio or a billboard, and move that into a much more kind of effective, beautifully scalable form of marketing, such as Facebook. You can target people by internet browser use, which is pretty cool. Operating system, primary email domain, which is crazy. Expats, you can target people based off of their affiliation here, which is an interesting one. Yes, you can target expats of the United States. That might be a cool one. Expats of the United States might be somebody who'd be much more interested in tourism. Like I might target expats of the United States if I had a tourism company in Thailand. I might also target people who are interested in the beach. I might target people who are interested in beer or partying, right? Depending on what the kind of touristic or tourism activity it was. But there's a lot of information here too. Financial, right? We can target people who have investments based on like real estate investments, for example. If we were targeting people for maybe an additional home, like a secondary home or a vacation home, I would definitely want to target people who had real estate investments. Independent investors, highly likely investors. These are people who, generally if somebody is kind of classified as an investor or has personal investments, it means that they have, at least enough discretionary income to kind of sell them something that is more of like an impulse buy rather than like a commodity or necessity. Spending habits is a good one. Right, you want to target people who are active credit card users. Premium credit cards generally has a correlation to affluency as well. If I don't know why you might want to exclude people who are primarily cash. And again, you can exclude people by just going like this, and you could just do primarily cash. Because if you're selling something on the internet, people who are paying in primarily cash are probably going to be not very likely to buy from you. So if you exclude these people, it makes your audience just that much more kind of accurate. So if we get back to where we were, I think we were in financial here. Spending methods, right? Travel and entertainment cards. This might be another good one if we were, again, targeting a tourism type of deal. Like if we owned a travel agency, or maybe I own like a bar crawl in Indonesia or something, I might target people who are interested in travel and entertainment cards just because they're more familiar with that type of thing. Job role, financial professionals, corporate executives, job seekers. Maybe if I owned, a temp agency, or I was marketing for, a new website that I started, like similar to like Monster or Indeed, or companies that kind of link together job seekers with people who are needing, additional employment. Media, right? You can target people who are, based off of viewership habits, heavy US TV viewers, mobile device use, right? If you can target people that have smartphones and tablets, obviously, people who have feature phones versus people who have smartphones are going to have different buying habits. Network connection, more categories. It's just unbelievable. Like if I was starting, or if I was trying to advertise for like a bar, for example, that had a grand opening, I might target people who had attended Facebook events in the past, because they're more likely to be comfortable with that and like being and showing interest in a new Facebook event. So like maybe if I was opening a bar in Boston, I might target people who were in a certain age range kind of that I was looking for, who had showed interest in like a beer company, or maybe like Grey Goose or Sky Vodka, and who had also attended a Facebook event. So I know that they're comfortable kind of with that platform format. You can do cultural affinity. Purchase behavior is a very important one. You can literally say like people who like coupons, or people who are gamers, and they've shown that kind of through their buyer profiles that Facebook has kind of collected data on or bought data from. You can target men. Like if you have a fashion company, for example, you can target men who are big and tall, right? Or have shown interest in jeans. Again, women's clothing, all different types of, luxury brand apparel. If you're selling like, luxury purses, or you're trying to give kind of that, you're trying to give that perception of quality, and you're drop shipping from Alibaba or AliExpress, for example, purses, and you wanted to target people who had kind of showed interest in the luxury brand apparel, right? And there's all different types of stuff here: cooking supplies, frozen fruit, meat and seafood, health and beauty, right? There's so many here that like, you'd really have to know what you're interested in. Again, oral care might be one that's interesting if we're going to target people who could be potential new customers for a dentist. Skincare might be somebody, if maybe we were running ads for a local dermatologist, trying to get them more customers, and we were running their Facebook ads for them. Home and garden, people who are interested in home improvement is definitely something that you could use. Cleaning supplies, kids products, pet products, purchase types, right? There's so many here. It's just like, it's unbelievable. It's just, I'm trying to show you guys just how vast this is, truly. Sports and apparel, store types, subscription services, technology, purchase behavior, engaged shoppers, right? Engaged shoppers is definitely something that I'd want anybody who looks at my ads, I'd want them to be an active credit card user, and I'd want them to be an engaged shopper. I know that for sure. Residential profiles. Here are great ones, right? Likely to move. Maybe we'd only want to show, new home offers, or maybe we're in a new apartment building, and if we were targeting people that were likely to move, we'd show them, hey, like 20% off if you like come and rent one of our brand new apartments, or new movers, or recent home buyers, recent mortgage borrowers, right? Maybe if I owned, again, a financial company where I was targeting people to refinance their mortgages, I might target people who are recent mortgage borrowers and show them, hey, like, did you just take out a mortgage? Like, did you know that you could save like 20% immediately by refinancing? Check out this offer, right? So there's just an unbelievable amount of categories here. Business travelers. This is a great one that I found a lot of kind of engagement and profitability with, because people who are kind of active business travelers generally want to find kind of another way, because I've done it myself. Traveling for business is exhausting, and people who are commonly traveling for business generally are kind of looking for additional passive income earners to be able to kind of not do that. Personal travelers, leisure travelers, right? Timeshares, all different types. Returned from traveling 1 week ago. Maybe we could target people and say like, hey, like, how was your vacation? Like, want to go on another one? Or, all different types of stuff, guys. So, that was kind of a verbose way to go through all of the different behaviors here. But again, I just want to make sure to establish a rock solid infrastructure and base for you guys, so you know all the different opportunities that are out there, and then you can start to apply them to your own business, your own product, your own services, guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed that one, and we'll see you on the next.